You're listening to 182.3, Care What People Think.
Welcome back to the Care What People Think podcast. As you can tell, we've just flip-flopped. This audio quality is dog water because
Bro
I'm
is
now
in
using
2005 working on new technology with a microphone from his Nintendo DS. Welcome back. Dude, I'm not even going to lie. Just with the intro, it felt like you were underwater. It is actually hilarious.
No,
it's amazing, though. I think we should just run with it, bro. You got to understand that Will is doing this for a 9-to-5 job. Take it away, Will.
Yeah, so today, hosts Will and Ryan, we're going to be talking about learning a 9-to-5 job because last episode we talked about getting a job. That was more, beginner, elementary, kind of like if you're getting fresh out of high school, fresh out of college, just kind of like, or you could just be changing, your career path. But either way, it was more like getting a job, the process. This episode, we're going to more focus on like the specifics of the actual kind of like 9-to-5, what it looks like, what experiences we've had, because Ryan and I have freshly gotten a 9-to-5 job. Him more than me. I've had my job since February. But just like every other episode, I'm going to start with something I'm proud of myself about. And as, again, Ryan pointed out, the audio quality is dog water because my hotel I'm in is dog water, and I'm at this dog water convention for my job, which is
Do
dog
they give
water.
dogs water as well?
Yeah, they do.
Do they offer that? I don't know. Is that part of the package? Dog water accessible?
No, that's just the name of my hotel. Dog water.
Dog Water Hotel, established in Oh my God, I'm actually an idiot. DW. DW instead of BC, it's DW. That is it. Established with dog water. Dog water established in dog water. All right, I'm going on a tangent, but
it's
basically,
bad.
yeah, your mic's dog water, bro. Anyway,
it sucks. But again, this is from the 9-to-5 that I have. I'm here for a convention or an expo, trade show thing for 4 days. So I'm here an entire week. Which, we're trying to make sure we always post and stay consistent with the episodes. So I think this is episode 25 in a row, which, congrats. We posted 25 weeks in a row, which is crazy. But yeah, that's kind of an explanation. And that's also what I'm proud about myself this week. I haven't even taken a break really, like on a weekend, because last week I worked Monday through Friday, and then I flew out Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday we prepped for this week. So then I've just worked this entire week. So I am just proud that I've made it through because, we've been starting at 8 a.m. pretty much every day. And then we go until 6. I come home, get my Uber Eats food, and then I work on my YouTube video, personal project thing from, I don't know, maybe a couple hours, but I still work on it every day after work, which is like, if any of you have done a trade show or any experience of like, I don't know, like conventions, I don't know, maybe if you work at Comic-Con or something, that's the only thing that can come to mind. But like, it drains you because you're just talking to people all day, which is ironically totally not what you do in a 9-to-5. So it is a total switch up. So yeah, I don't know how the fuck it's been. I ordered my Uber Eats. Ryan, let me tell you, this is worth being on the podcast. Okay, there's poke, right? Poke,
yep.
Great food.
Yep.
Why the fuck am I in Florida and I just ordered a poke burger?
Burger, bro? What?
A poke burger.
I've never heard of a poke burger in my life.
First of all, I got 2 of them. Buy one, get one free. Poke burger. Took that deal any day. They literally have the buns as fried rice. And then the sandwich is all the protein.
And okay, sadly, I'm not gonna lie, that actually sounds really good.
It's fire. It's Americanized to the fucking max. But holy shit, I just got that. I got it yesterday too. That's like my meal break thing. But yeah.
Dude, another thing about Florida, bro, is the seafood. Like, you can't really go wrong unless you're like at a really shitty place. But like, dude, they are full of seafood. So that's actually a good shout, getting a poke bowl. So, or poke burger, my fault.
Yeah, it's only in Florida.
Only in Florida, bro. Only in Florida. Who would have thought? But actually, I'm going to correct you. You said this was episode 25. You're actually mistaken. This is episode 26, which marks, guess what? A half a year. This is exactly half a year. And I think that is pretty dang
Hey,
cool. So
that is cool.
I just feel like that's a little, pat on the back for both of us, but we've done very well, and I think the dedication aspect of it is huge. So thank you all to for whoever's listening out there week to week. I really appreciate you. You know who you are, and you've reached out to me and will. So thank you so much. But before we get into it, yeah, I just want to talk about a little bit of my experience as working a 9 to 5 job. I'm actually currently, like Will said, like in that transition period of going from like a serving job, a night shift, to a 9 to 5 job. So um, I've only experienced this 9 to 5 for about 10 days now. It's taken a toll on me. I'm not going to lie. And damn, is it hard. That is literally my first point, and I have no other points around that. I'm literally looking at my screen. Wow, is it
Nope.
hard. And the reason why I didn't want to add to this is because there are ups and downs, right? Like if you're a night person like I am, it was so fucking tough, right? The first day was like, holy shit, okay, I need to go to bed earlier. The second day I was like, holy shit, I need to go to bed earlier than I thought. But and just making sure like you put the right foods in you go to bed at the right time, like just so your body agrees with you day to day. Before I get on a little tangent, I'm going to ask you, Will, what was one of the hardest parts of adjusting to the 9 to 5? I know this was almost a year now for you, but yeah, what was
Damn.
one of the harder parts?
Um, that's a really good question. I would probably say, um, honestly, probably learning that you are not always right. And I mean, main character, energy type beat. Everyone feels like, I don't want to say everyone's entitled, but everyone definitely thinks like they're usually always right with making certain decisions, especially if it's in a field that they have experience in. So I've been doing or trying to do YouTube to the degree I want since I was like 11. I have a lot of experience with like social media stuff, video editing, graphic design, photo editing. And now
Bro's
that
just
I
marketing himself now. Jesus. All right.
yep, my
Walking
portfolio.
advertisement.
Yep,
Will Schmigley
willshrigley.com.
resume. Yep. Okay. Here's his
Yep.
YouTube link. All right, guys. Check him out.
Check
Yep.
out
All
my
right. Continue.
podcast edits. I edit 2 different podcasts. I edit a podcast for my thing, and I help edit
No
this
way.
podcast. And
No
then
way,
I
bro.
also made a magazine catalog, and I made a price sheet for my company, and I have a portfolio of a.
Yo, I'm getting a new co-host at this point. This is just a marketing scam, bro. Just if you want to join a pyramid scheme, join Will. So,
Bro, oh my god, that okay. There's a
I know
story
that's
about
going to go
that.
on another tangent. Finish your point, and then we can go over.
No, my point is, like I went to school for graphic design, and like I have a degree in it. Plus, I have a bunch of experience. So I like to think whenever I have to be like making a flyer or making a pamphlet or making posts or whatever, usually I'm pretty like adamant on like this is what we should do, and I think this will look best. And sometimes I'm right. Sometimes I'm just totally not. And my boss will tell me, like, no, we should go this direction. And, I'm obviously the worker, I'm not the boss. So I'll like adapt to what we need to get done. And then the either product, project, flyer, whatever will come out and it'll do really well sometimes. And my boss totally was the one who was like, don't go in the direction you naturally think. Like, the industry that I'm in or the products that we sell, like you don't have as much experience selling the products, you just have the design experience. And that's just a learning like thing, being like, wow, I was actually totally wrong, in this situation at least. And I need to learn that like I'm not always right. Like just because I went to school does not mean I'm I mean, really, just because I
Superior,
went to
yeah.
school, exactly. I'm not superior because I have a piece of paper. I'm not superior because I have more experience with whatever. Because even the goats, Messi, Ronaldo, they miss shots all the time
Ronaldo, hell no.
on the
There's only
con.
one go, bro. Come on, let's be
Okay,
honest.
okay,
Speaking of
they
goats, dude,
miss.
did you see the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight? Jake Paul's my goat. That's all I'm gonna say.
Bro, I got to
Low
my
gang and
hotel.
Jake Paul for life, bro.
Fuck off.
Just kidding. Hell
I
no.
I got to my hotel. I turned on Netflix. And I went, oh shit, that's tonight. I clicked on it. I saw that buffering bar, immediately closed the fucking page. Immediately. I was like, nope, I'm not dealing with this bullshit.
Hey, dude, at
No.
least you saw a buffering bar. If you got through the buffering bar, you'd see Mike Tyson's cheeks slapping around, bro. And all I wanted to see is, maybe a knockout from Mike Tyson, not my eyes literally watering because my boys, dude, I saw everything, bro. I might as well have done a colonoscopy, bro. I was so up
Holy
in there, bro.
shit.
I was so far away from the TV. I swear it came out and looked it like came out, spread, and like was all over the news the next morning, dude. I couldn't get away from it. So the fact that your TV was buffering, I'm so happy for you. Like genuinely, that should have been your intro. Like the best thing of your week because holy shit, man, I did not need to see that. Bro is like in his 60s. Jake Paul did not need to be in the ring with him. I'm just going on a tangent, but holy shit.
Bro had so much to say about its everyday cheeks. That's crazy. Damn. Back to jobs.
Also, like I was talking a little bit about like healthy habits and like what's helped me, but making sure, like I said, getting enough sleep, taking breaks, getting outside a little bit, working out, eating healthy, just little things, right, that don't take too much time out of your day, but just like impact you so much. You're a little bit sharper at your job, right? And I think a lot of people would agree with me as well. But like out of college, you have such a different routine. And you're like, although maybe you're super busy, you just have that schedule that's a little bit more flexible. So being at an eight to five, 9 to 5, whatever it is, just really like makes you reframe your mind, right? And kind of prioritize things on your break or outside of work or whatever it is. The one of the biggest things I've taken away from like my week and a half at this 9 to 5 job is like my organizational skills. So like if I'm not organized at work, I'm screwed. If I'm not organized outside of work, I'm screwed. And it's true because if I come back to like a dirty apartment and no groceries and no furniture, which low key I don't still, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is like if you come back to that, then like you're just gonna be constantly like fighting battles, and it's not gonna run smoothly. So you like give yourself the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, sure, you're starting like it's a whole new change, but like make sure you're like working towards your personal life as well, and um, you know don't become 500 pounds because you sit at a desk all day.
That's crazy. I mean, it's important to have that balance, and it's definitely like a slap in the face when you, like you said, you be eating Taco Bell at 3 a.m., you wake up at 1 p.m., and then you get a job. Ryan and I are both usually like nighttime people. We really did absolutely maximize our Fortnite time during the pandemic,
Not even
but
Fortnite, bro. We had FIFA. We just like Xbox, PC, whatever it was, bro. It's true.
it
Continue.
was up until, yeah, 6 a.m. like all the time. And that's like a huge adaptation to like have. I don't know if that's the right usage of that word. You got to change like pretty harsh because, it's your job. Also with like jobs that are like 9 to 5, at least for me, the main thing that I think helps is it's very easy to become like a slave to the system of, oh, you just like, for me, I when I first got my job, I would wake up at 8:40, get ready, pack my lunch, and drive to my office and get there at 9 or 8:58. So I would literally get the maximum amount of sleep. But then after like, 3, 4, 5 months, for me, I started realizing like, what the fuck am I doing this for? Like, I'm just doing this to survive. Now, credit, I live in a very expensive state, but like, that is not living, and I'm not seeing any change. So that's why I made the decision of like, hey, I need to work out, and the best time that I can only work out is in the morning. And I hate waking up early, but I would much rather do that than spend way more time at the gym at the end of the day. So that's when I started waking up 6:15 in the morning, getting to the gym, doing it, and then it kind of felt like I had like control of my own day, because it's like, no, I'm choosing to live where I live, and so I do have to go make money. So I do this, but I work out in the beginning. I get that balance, and then after, especially, you don't have to worry about it because you did it, and you would have taken a shower. Unless you're like Ryan and you take 6 showers in one day. That's not me.
Whoa,
I
whoa,
take
whoa.
one.
I take
So
one. Hello. Jeez, I like to smell good for the
no,
ladies,
no, no,
though.
no, no,
Sorry,
no,
go
no.
ahead.
My man, you shower in the morning and not at night. There's no way.
Okay, depends on what I'm doing that night. Like for today, for example, I took a shower at 6:45 a.m. and I got off work at 5 p.m. And after that, I have done nothing but just chill at my apartment. So I've not showered yet. And that is hence, like, actually, the reason why I'm not showering is because I have nobody to smell good around. I don't care. So,
No,
so,
I
but
think
if
that's so
I'm going
funny.
out, if I'm going out for like a dinner thing, or like, just out in general for the most part, yeah, maybe I'll take a shower. Maybe I'll do my hair again. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
I don't
No, I'm saying, like, for example, say you have a, you're doing intramural soccer or something, right? And you have a game. Bro will go. Okay, maybe you would take a shower after, but I
know.
swear
I was about
there
to
were
say, you're kind
days.
of digging yourself in a hole, because if you don't, that's kind of gross.
Because there were days, I swear, during the pandemic or like when we would be online and you were like, I already showered today. I'm not taking another shower. And I'm like, bro, you just worked out. And you're like, well, whatever. Bro's going to
It
bed
depends.
sweaty. Like his
Okay,
Fortnite skills.
that's
What do
fair.
you
I
mean?
wish I wish I didn't do that, where like I go on like a little workout and maybe I am sweaty and I have to go to bed, but I just feel so weird taking a shower at night and then showering in the morning when it's like right before bed and right when you wake up. Like, that just, I get what you're saying, because it does make it gross and like right before bed, but dude, it's so weird to take two showers within the span of like 9 hours, bro.
That's fair. I
Like,
just don't
when eight
shower.
of those are
Anymore.
sleeping, bro, it's like, what?
That's fair.
Okay.
Um,
Anyway, I'm gonna kind of swivel the conversation from showers to finding actually your own growth. Like you did say, like just the gym and a couple other examples, but what I think is like most important from what I've seen is, okay. I'm just gonna say it how it is. I'm a new guy. Everyone looks at the new guy a little bit different, right? It's their and that's not a bad thing. It's just because I'm kind of invading their space that they call like a safe space, right? And
yeah.
so walking to this office and not knowing really anything or anyone, jobs just aren't just about the tasks. They're about meeting people. They're about growth. They're about making the mistakes, learning from them, because they are inevitable. Definitely when you're learning a new system, new career, whatever it is, right? Um, but like, I've already developed so many more skills. It just throws you out there, right? And you have to learn them, and it's how you bounce back from them. So, um, for example, I had to take a check call. So for my job, I have to track where these truckers are going from point A to point B, right? They do these products that are actually like Fortune 500 companies. So they're big loads and they are a lot of money, right? So
Flex.
in the back of my mind, I'm stressed the whole time because I'm like, okay, I could really mess this up. Um, Obviously, as it turns out, it's not as stressful as you think. And when I made those calls after the first one, I was like, wait, this is just like talking to a normal person. And then I realized, hey, it is a normal person. And maybe they're not just like me, but like, holy shit, I'm just freaking myself out for nothing. I did make mistakes and they caught me pretty quick, like my coworkers and stuff, but I improved from them. I'm building on those areas and they can already see those improvements, and they're even more happy than I think if I was just perfect. Like, genuinely, if I just stepped in and I was like overseeing the whole office, it's like, how did that help anyone, you know?
Yeah.
So I think I have another question for you as well, Will, but like, what's something that you've learned from your 9 to 5 job that also impacted you outside of your work? So like for me, for example, learning from my mistakes and growing from it.
Um, am I tripping? Is that not the same question you asked before? I
No,
literally am looking at this.
so the first
You mean
question I
like,
asked was like, what's the hardest part of adjusting to that 9 to 5?
oh, okay.
But I want something that you've taken from the actual workplace and you've brought back to your apartment, your personal life, whatever it is.
Oh, this is actually a really good point because this is one of my points. Working slower. So I'm typically someone that gets really excited whenever I come up with a new idea or a new project, and I'm like, oh, let me just do it right now. And because of a 9 to 5 job, you work with so many other departments. You literally cannot work, like, you can only work as fast as your slowest person, right? That saying or whatever. And because you have to deal with like e-commerce and the marketing team and the sales team and like the other like decision making kind of like bosses, the idea of something has to get approved so many times that like it gets stopped, like a bunch of stop signs, if that makes sense. I usually, since if you're, well, for me, I'm wanting to do YouTube. And so that's me being my own boss. I get a green light every single idea. And so a lot of the time I get too carried away and I start either making design decisions, upload decisions when I've worked so late. Because also when you're on your own boss, it's very easy to just always think like, I could be working right now. I could be working right now. Um, but
100%.
just like slowing down and being like, dude, I worked, like, for example, on a weekend, if you were going to, like, it's kind of just like making sure to always take a rest day. Like, you can't expect to work out 7 days in a row without letting your body to rest. Like, you're going to hit a point where you either injure yourself or you're going to go backwards. And that at a 9 to 5, it forces you to do that because literally you clock in and you clock out. And
Yeah.
if you're not used to a job, like, I don't know, maybe that's easier to like look at with service because with service, like you said, you don't give a fuck. Once the time hits like your clock out time, you just dip. But with the 9 to 5, I don't know how like overlaying your job is, but like say I have to work on a project. Like last week, I had a bunch of print work I had to get for this week. I still kind of had it on my mind after I left work,
Yeah,
and
and it's not necessarily like
it's
homework,
tough.
but like yeah, it's on the back of your mind, and I feel that like yeah, like you said, serving job, you clock in and out. With any 9 to 5, for some extent, you're coming back to that job, and it's gonna be starting like it's gonna have those missing pieces that you were thinking of the last time you were in. So
Yeah.
continue your point, but yeah, my job does actually entail that too. So
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, also on the flip side of that, there is more reliance because, like in customer service, you do not know who you're serving each day. You could have a mess one day, you could have a mess for a whole week, you could have a blessed day or a blessed couple days. But in a 9 to 5, if you're working on a project and then it hits 5 p.m., oh, well, I'll get to it tomorrow because I'm literally going to be here, same time, same place, 9 to 5. Like there's more kind of reliance, which allows people to be slower, especially if you work with people that do not give a shit about what they're working on. Then it's like you're literally working as slow as people are going to go, which I would also say is another big point about learning 9 to 5 is the culture of like who you're surrounded with is completely different because like I worked at a fun center, right? So pretty much everyone I worked with was around 16 to 22 because it was kind of like a high school job. And
bro called it the
that
fun center, dude. It was just a strip club. Let's be honest.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm
okay.
just
Oh,
kidding.
yeah. I never even thought of that joke.
Wouldn't that be crazy if they just called strip clubs fun centers? Like, imagine they were just like, "Hey, let's like you're out with the boys, right?" And I'm not like
Not the
nothing against your
boys.
like relationship. I'm just saying hypothetically, right? And
Nothing.
and you're just like, "Yeah, let's go to the fun center tonight. You guys down, bro? Let's like throw some cash at the fun center." And
That
everyone's like thinking like Chuck E.
the
Cheese and shit. Like, what the hell do you mean, bro? Like for fun? No, I'm talking.
it's just a stripper's just in the fucking like ticket booth where all the tickets are in the air, but it's money. You're just fuck. No, I literally
Bro actually worked at a fun center, meaning like
okay.
bumper boats,
Pause.
cars.
We have to pause. Yep,
No,
I
it's
was a
true.
go karts dude, and yeah, it's totally fun seeing 9-year-olds not know how to fucking press on a brake, and they just slam into the other 9-year-old in front of them, and now two 9-year-olds are fucking throwing a tantrum. That's fun. That's
Yeah,
real
I
fun.
can imagine. I can imagine, bro. Yep.
Yeah, so from that experience, I was working with like a high turnover rate because it was like a high school summer job, and you just work with people that like kind of don't really. There's not a lot on the line really because it's you're just dealing with customers and it's not as big of work. But then when you are working with like people at a 9 to 5, first of all, you're working with ages across the board. I don't know what the age kind of roughly is for your job, but like the age where I work is very different.
Yeah,
I think
same. I'm actually the
differentiates a
youngest in
lot.
the office, and then there's a guy that's actually like in his 60s, and then there's guys
Oh
all in
damn.
between that. So,
Okay, because yeah, I mean, mine is still relatively young, like early 20s, 30s, but that's a big thing. I also know Ryan personally has more experience with actually having fucking company culture, where he's got the cubicles, he's got the people laughing, drinking their drinks from the water filling
drinking
station
their beer and
at the
whiskey,
no, no,
nine
no,
to
no. You got
five.
the you got the water. That's at the end of the week. You just got the water fill up station in the break room where there's cake and people, care about fucking making their day not as miserable. So they bring in shit and they talk to each other. You walk over to another cubicle, you ask about a department. I don't have that experience. So that's going to vary depending on how big of a company you work for, which is, again, something I did not know. I literally
True.
have one other person on my marketing team, and it's just us.
Well, it's not that you didn't know. Bro applied for 500 jobs, so you didn't really have a choice at the end of the day. So.
That's true. But if say
And
you do want to work at a big company, then
even, yeah, no, and I get your point and everything, but also to like kind of combat that point, even if you are working at a small company and maybe it's not like the end goal, it does bring experience to the table. It pays the bills for a bit, and um, I think like although you are working at where you are, you have so much more going for you than me right now. Because right now I have 2 weeks of a 9 to 5. You have 11 months, and it just shows that you're a little bit more dedicated. I'm not saying that's like the determining factor within like the hiring
oh yeah,
process, but I'm saying that it does look good, and it looks that like you've definitely like committed that part of your life. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's a good way to look at it too. But
it's definitely. I would say the nice thing is if you do get a 9 to 5 and you just know for a fact you want your own business or you want to know what it's like to kind of run the upper thing. It's nice to be at a 9 to 5 because you are not responsible for financial loss. I mean, you might be responsible for financial losses because you literally just said so, but I'm not. Like if I fuck up, it's more my head of department person that's kind of in at fault. But it's not like, for example, if Mr. Beast wanted to fucking be like, hey, I bought a gazillion-dollar fucking airplane private jet combo thing, that video, if it doesn't do well, that is all on him. And
that's true.
he is in charge of the thumbnail, the scripting, the production, the like obviously he has assistants and everything, but that's all him. But if you're just like a worker at someone's business, you just get the experience of like, okay, how fast does this actually go? What experience do I actually need to even get qualified? Because, just like last episode, it's very intimidating to think you need to have a ton of experience or the right education or the right networking to get a job. And then once you get the job, no one knows what the fuck they're doing. Nobody knows. They're just doing what they've done ever since they got hired. So it's you're fine. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. That's my advice.
You're fine, but you're not. But just keep going to work. So, no, I'm just kidding. I think you did make a really good point there. I'm gonna kind of, I mean, we're kind of at that point, where we wrap up the
Yeah,
episode. But I do want to make one last point of it's not for everyone. Keep being resilient, and at the end of the day, I don't want to be working 9 to 5. I don't think really anyone does, but it
yeah,
does bring experience to the table. It takes you out of your bedroom, living room, whatever it is. So you're doing something. Because for me personally, I would go stir crazy. And I also feel a little bit more accomplished just by being around people that are motivated. And I could be sitting and eating, popcorn, watching YouTube all day, but instead I choose, hey, I want to make a little bit of money and make a name for myself. So, um, yeah, if you
facts.
take anything out of today's episode, I think that just make sure you're providing enough rest to your body, your mental health as well when you're starting something. If you're especially coming out of college, it's so different, right? We talked about that. Will also talked a lot about like how you maintain that health. So go to the gym, bring up new activities, do these tasks that aren't just day to day. And yeah, don't fall victim to the system. So, yeah, that's going to be it for today's episode on learning a 9 to 5 job. Make sure to tune into the Care What People Think podcast on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and all other platforms. It means so, so much. And also thank you for the DMs to me and Will. It is so, so awesome to hear you guys' feedback. But anyway, please leave us a review, a rating as well. And thanks for listening. And remember, care what people think, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week on 182.3